Hello, I'm just at my work shift today at the dump, and I felt prompted to record a video about a few different things, but one thing in particular that was confirmed by a conversation I just had with a lady is that about the system that's put in place to help people that are struggling with finances, that are trying to look for a place to live. So at the moment I'm trying to put in an application to get some help to get my own place, and it's really frustrating and stressful. And the reason why I tried to start looking into the process before and it was too much stress, so I stopped, but now it's a situation I realise I need to have my own place. So I tried to start putting an application through the FACS or whatever they're called, the housing group, and so I've been like sending them the information they requested and filling out forms and stuff for that, which I'm okay with that. But what I'm not okay with is the extra pressures and things they keep asking for because of their system, when they're not sensitive and compassionate to dealing with vulnerable people. And I don't know whether it's the particular staff members or whether it's the system. I'm guessing it's probably most likely the system that the government's created, and it's an uncompassionate system basically, because so just now I've put in I thought everything was fine. I'd ticked all the boxes, done all the things they wanted, and then I have to have it organised by a certain date to go in for my lease. But the now they're requesting more evidence, and here's how silly the evidence that they're asking for is. So they ask for a profit and loss because sometimes I do freelance work, and so I got my bookkeeper, who is also an accountant, to prepare a profit and loss and send it to me. So I sent them that, and they said, no, it has to be done by an accountant. You have to redo it and send it to us. I said, oh, okay, so it'll cost me $600 to get an accountant to do an extra step like that, and that's about how much the bond is. So what you've just basically made this whole process I went through with you guys pointless and stressful and a waste of my time, and just made this part of something that contributes to anxiety for me, which is exactly why I was trying to get the place to reduce my anxiety. And then what else do they do? They want like so many pay slips, and I've given them all the pay slips I have, and it's still not good enough because it doesn't tick their boxes of how many weeks worth of pay slips I have. But that's how many weeks work I've had, and that's just the facts of how it is. That's why I want their help, not because I can have heaps of money banked up to just do it without them. So that was another thing that caused stress, where they're just poking. It feels like they're just poking at you on you, trying to press your buttons of where you're vulnerable, because the exact reason why you're contacting them, they're throwing back in your face and just saying, we don't care, we just want our boxes ticked, you just got to do it our way, and if it doesn't actually work, if it's a broken system, you just have to put up with it and suffer more. And the lady I was talking to, who knew nothing about this circumstance I was experiencing, she was telling me that how many people are sleeping in cars with families because of the broken system, that it's all too hard, it's all too stressful, it gives them depression, and they end up homeless because the system that's meant to be there to support them is actually hurting them. So I'm going to enter this. They asked for more evidence. This is my more evidence I'm going to supply. This is, I'm working at a dump yard at the moment, so here's some evidence of my work. And this is a representation of what people that are downtrodden and outcast and rejected and put down in society because of either mental illness, environmental circumstances that have happened to them, whatever the reason, people that are at the bottom end of society that are suffering. This dump represents to me a visual representation of those people, and I feel like it's a physical illustration to make a point that it's time that the people that have been put down by people in positions of authority, that they're actually that basically the tables are turned, and that they're given a chance to actually get out of those situations, not put in places where that cycle is perpetuated. So when people are coming to you and they're asking for a hand up to improve their circumstances, improve their life, and have a positive outcome, then you really need to think carefully about how you interact with them, because just one discouragement can actually send them spiraling back into depression or whatever they're suffering with. So I really think that you need to have really well-trained people working in your departments, and the government needs to, take steps to help the people that are homeless. There's lots of issues happening in the bigger cities as well with people that are homeless, and I don't think there's enough done about it, and I think there's way too much, unless people have experienced it, or spent time with people that have experienced, and they don't actually know, how it actually feels to experience that and how shameful and humiliating it can be. And I feel humiliated having to go through this process. Like, it's not fun. And I already know that God's already showing me the things where He'll provide for me, and I know that He's got a bright future for me, and I know that breakthrough is coming for me, but I also know that me stepping through this stuff before the breakthrough comes has a purpose, and it's to bring attention to the things that are wrong in society. So if I'm willing to say, even though I know that eventually I will have good outcomes and He will make a way, the point is that some of the things in Australia need to change that are stopping people from having breakthroughs where they could, just because of stupid things. So I'm willing to be vulnerable and, share my mess before my breakthrough kind of thing, but I want it to have a purpose, and I want people in government and positions of authority to be sensitive to the needs of Australians that are vulnerable. So, yeah. I will submit this as part of my evidence.